Teams have had a tremendous rivalry over the years. New England has dominated at New England. Miami's won 16 in a row here.
They certainly have. And, you know, and the key for the Miami Dolphins today is the same thing. They've got to control the line of scrimmage. They have to be able to stop the New England Patriot running attack, and also they have to be able to also run when they want to run, but also throw the football.
Well, you and Charlie Jones have come up with something that everybody kind of looks forward to. What is the quarterback's quote for the day?
Well, the quarterback's quote, you know, this series has been going on for a long time. As Charlie said, they've played the last 17, 20 years. The team that's home seems to win all the time. The Dolphins have won 16 in a row. In Foxborough, the Patriots have won 7 of the last 8. So my quote would be, home sweet home.
All right, home sweet home, says Bob Greasy, and a warm afternoon. And the heat down on the floor of this stadium may take its toll later on this afternoon. The Miami Dolphins have won the toss, and they will be kicking off from left to right. The Dolphins in their home white uniforms. The New England Patriots in their red jerseys this afternoon. The Patriots 2-2 in preseason. The Dolphins were 3-1. Playing for real, both these clubs victorious last week. Von Schaman will put the ball in play. The former Oklahoma star, now in his 6th season. Robert Weathers is the deep man, number 24, downfield for the New England Patriots. We hope you'll enjoy it wherever you are around the nation. The referee is Chuck Heberling today. The field in excellent condition. A crowd of about 65,000 watching, and the ball comes off the tee. I think that might set a record. He's gone up there and teed it up about 3 or 4 times now, Bob, already.
Jay, the wind can really whip around in the Orange Bowl, although it's not blowing too hard now. The key factor as far as weather is going to be the humidity on these two teams.
All right, Von Schaman booms one. And Weathers is not going to come out. Von Schaman has been a key factor. They don't return many off of him. And only 19-yard average last year. Offensively for the Patriots, Brogan out of Kansas State with Collins and Derek Ramsey, the H-back. Lynn Dawson is the tight end. Cedric Jones starts at wide receiver. Stanley Morgan still not 100%, and Stephen Starring. Pete Brock at center. The great John Hanna working with Ron Wooten at the guards and Holloway and Haley at the tackles. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Jones goes in motion. The handoff to Collins. Outside of the 25 and up. Very close to a first down. In fact, he got it at the 32-yard line. Don McNeil, the cornerback, number 28, ran him out of bounds over there. This defensive unit for the Dolphins with Betters, Baumhauer, and Bocamper. The linebacking core, Brodzinski, Roan, Mark Brown, and Charles Bowser. Some changes there for the Dolphins. McNeil, Judson, and the Blackwood brothers in the secondary. A first down on the first play of the game for the New England Patriots. Collins carrying that ball. He had 83 yards and a 4-yard average last week at Rich Stadium in Buffalo. Collins again, the single setback, bangs his way to the 35-yard line. And Doug Betters, number 75, is there to make the tackle. Collins out of East Carolina from Little Penn in central New York State. He's already in the top 5 all-time rushing for these Patriots.
You know, Jay, the Patriots started off the game with a play that the Washington Redskins used last week against the Dolphins. Was very successful. The Redskins used 2 tight ends, as do the Patriots, so I'm sure they got that from the film study this week.
2nd down, a short 8. And Grogan calls on Collins once more, and he's out to the 39-yard line. Collins banging out there behind Wooten and Haley. Doug Betters, 75, on the tackle. And Bob, it's obvious in the early going that Ron Meyer wants to establish his running game. This game that is built around Collins, the fine single setback offense that we're seeing more and more of these days. And with Holloway, Hanna, Brock, Wooten, and Haley up there. They're doing an excellent job of controlling the line of scrimmage early. 3rd down and 2. Grogan may have checked off here. He pitches back to Collins. He's outside. 1st down, out to the 45-yard line. Don McNeil, the cornerback, had to come up and make the tackle. Another 1st down for New England.
You were right, Jay. He was checking off, and what he was doing was he was looking at the safeties. He was going to toss that ball to the right or to the left. He called in the huddle, toss 38 or toss 39 straight, check with me. He goes up to the line of scrimmage. He sees where the strength of the Dolphin defense is, and he checks it the other way. And the way he says that is, I'll call 3 an odd number if we're going left, and an even number if we're going right. It could be just that simple.
Greg Hawthorne, number 40, has come into the game for the Patriots. That's Hawthorne coming in motion. 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Collins again. And he gets a couple. Collins getting a workout here. McNeil, number 28, on the tackle. The Patriots have yet to throw the ball.
No surprise there, Jay. The same play they started the ball game off with, a little stutter trap to the right side. Hanna 73. This time the Dolphin defense is a little bit tougher. Stops it for maybe a gain of 2.
Starring coming to the near sideline. Collins 33, Hawthorne 40, and Ramsey 88 in there with that single setback on 2nd down and 7. Up the middle, Mose Tutupu. Tutupu in the game, the big guy from USC. He was used a great deal in the 4th period last week at Buffalo to control the ball as the Patriots had the lead.
Watch John Hanna, number 73, right here on this block, on this man right here. The play is going to come right in here inside of Hanna. Let's take a look at it. Hanna 73 moves his man out, back sees it, cuts to the inside. John Hanna, an all-pro, one of the best offensive linemen maybe to ever have played this ball game.
Tutupu and Collins in the backfield now on 3rd down and 2. Collins goes in motion. Play action. Grogan throws. The receiver fell down. Lynn Dawson, all alone at the 45-yard line, would have had the 1st down, but he slipped.
Good call. You see him stumbling. I don't know what it was, Jay. He just seemed like he tripped over the line, but it was a good call. If he would have hit the receiver, it would have been a 1st down, kept the drive going.
Luke Prestige on to do the punting. He's taken over for Rich Camarillo, who is out for about half this season. Mark Clayton is back in the middle to receive the punt. As Bob Greasy has indicated, the wind can swirl on the floor of this stadium. Open-ended down to the right. He goes toward the far sideline, hangs it high. It is out of bounds. And it will be Miami taking over inside the 15-yard line. No score here in Miami. Miami set to put the ball in play at the 12-yard line after the punt by Prestridge. It'll be Dan Marino at the quarterback spot. At the moment, he's got Andra Franklin in there. Clayton 83, Jensen 11, and Duper 85. Don Shula looking on, the head man of the Dolphins. Coming in motion. Clayton, and the handoff going to Franklin. And Franklin didn't get much, a yard or 2 at the most. In on the tackle, Larry McGrew, number 50, the right inside linebacker. He's playing for the injured Clayton Wysoon. There's Marino, Nathan Franklin with Johnson, Duper, and Clayton. As we mentioned, Jensen is in there right now. Easler, Foster, Stevenson, Newman, and Laxo up front. 2nd down and 8 from the 14-yard line. First quarter, no score, 10.5 minutes to play. Penalty marker goes down, and driving up the right side was Tony Nathan near the 20-yard line. Again, Larry McGrew, number 50, there to make the tackle. The referee, as we mentioned today, is Chuck Heberling, a 20-year veteran of National Football League action. Have a new rule this year, Bob. The referee announces the penalties while the umpire steps them off.
I think it's a good rule too, Jay.
Illegal motion, number 87, offense, second down.
The call goes against Dan Johnson. Johnson, the tight end, number 87. A look at this defensive unit. Williams, Owens, and Sims. Sims playing over on the right side today. Tippett, Nelson, McGrew there, and Lippett, Clayton, James, and Sanford. Banging up the middle, Tony Nathan. Nathan, who played at Alabama, hit by Steve Nelson, the other inside linebacker. He's number 57. The Patriots with Nelson and McGrew in the middle today, Tippett and Blackman outside, and Dennis Owens playing the nose in place of Lester Williams. And now they'll go to the nickel as Fred Marion comes in and McGrew comes out. 3rd down and 7. New England in the prevent defense. Cepolo, 81, and Joe Rose, number 80, are in the lineup for Miami. Out of the shotgun, Dan Marino. And it is complete for a first down to Mark Duper. Duper, who has been explosive here over the last 2 seasons. A 16-yard pickup. Ray Claiborne made the tackle, number 26.
Duper just comes down, turns to the inside, a little square in pattern. They're going to be running a lot of these patterns in between the zones today because the Patriots play deep. They will give you the hooks and the curls, the outs and the square ends, but you won't get the big bombs that the Dolphins experienced last week against the Redskins.
It's a first down. The ball at the 32-yard line. Going to Andra Franklin. Franklin getting to the 35-yard line. Dennis Owens, number 98, there to make the tackle.
8 of 5. Second and 5.
Take a look here at Ed Newman, the right guard. He's going to be pulling and blocking out on the linebacker. Marino's going to hand, and the play is going to come up through here. We talked about, let's take a look at it. We talked about the importance of the offensive lines. There you see the trap block, an offensive lineman coming behind the line of scrimmage and kicking out on a lineman.
Clayton goes in motion to the far side. Marino throwing out to the near sideline, and a catch made at the 47-yard line by Duper. Duper hit immediately by Ray Claiborne. St. Louis has the early lead against Buffalo. Chicago 3-0 over Denver in the first quarter. In that St. Louis game, O'Donohue kicked a 23-yard field goal. And Kansas City got a 5-yard touchdown for Brown to lead Cincinnati in the early going. First down for Miami. The ball just over the 45 and the 46, and Marino to go upstairs again. Complete out to the 46-yard line of New England. Mark Clayton made the catch. Ronnie Lippett, the cornerback, number 42 on the play.
They want to force Marino to throw, but not when he wants to. Here he's throwing on first down, a good down to throw. A little down and out, 7 yards, 8 yards and out on Lippett. The Dolphins are hitting him on the outside. Take another look at it. He'll go down 5, maybe 10, 12 yards. Breaks to the outside. No way you can stop that. You need a good pass rush. You need to stop him on first down.
Jensen comes back in for Miami. Franklin 37 and Bennett 34 there. They spread them out on 2nd down and 3. Jensen going in motion. Bang! That's Franklin. Hit right along the line of scrimmage by Toby Williams, big number 90. No score here. Let's go to NFL 84 for an update.
All right, Jay Randolph, in Cincinnati, the Chiefs are going after free safety Ray Horton. This Anthony Hancock reception from Todd Blackledge set up a 5-yard touchdown run from Theodis Brown. The Chiefs lead Cincinnati, but the Bengals are driving now. It is 7-0 Kansas City.
Kansas City club starting off in pretty good fashion, I'll tell you. 3rd down and 2. Hardy went in motion, and the handoff going to Woody Bennett, and he does not get the first down at the 46-yard line. Nelson 57 and Lippett 42 coming up to make the play as you look at 43-year-old Ron Meyer, a native of Westerville, Ohio. You know him, Bob. You have the old Purdue connections.
He was at Purdue as an assistant coach. Really, he was a gopher at the time. He was just coming out of college himself and on the coaching staff of Jack Mullenkoff when I was a junior and senior playing quarterback. He was the man that really helped out. A good man, a good recruiter, and he has certainly done well with his coaching career.
Jack Mullenkoff, a wonderful man who coached you. Roby to do the punting. The big guy from Iowa booms it downfield, and it goes into the end zone. A touchback, and it'll come to the 20-yard line. So both clubs have had an opportunity. Nothing yet to show for it on the scoreboard. 47-yard punt a moment ago by the second-year man, Reggie Roby, and the Patriots. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Good look at Grogan. 12 out of 22 last week, 227 yards, 2 touchdowns. Lynn Dawson, the tight end, he moved. Let's see if he was drawn off. The Dolphins lead this series 22-13 as this is the 36th meeting between these two rivals. Had some fantastic games and some fantastic finishes over the years in these games. It's going to go against the Patriots. There's Dawson from North Carolina State. 5-yard penalty for encroachment. 1st and 15 from the 15 as we have 6 minutes to play in the first quarter. Cedric Jones coming out to the left side. Stephen Starring going to the right. In motion, Derek Ramsey. Lots of time, and the pass is too high. Well, Grogan, I think, was surprised he didn't get more pressure, and then he threw it too high, intending for Stephen Starring. Doug Betters covering in the area. That can happen to you, I guess, on occasion. You kind of lose your timing because nobody's there to harass you.
I think you're exactly right. I think he was expecting more of a defense against the rush and expecting a play-action pass to have some people open downfield, and when he didn't, he was a little bit surprised. But Grogan has been playing very well this year, Jay, and he's doing an outstanding job. He feels more patient, and I think he has a better grasp of the offense that Ron Meyer brought in a couple years ago.
Now in his 10th season, often maligned, but a very talented quarterback. Grogan, quick step and throws into traffic. It is complete at the 19-yard line. The catch made by Lynn Dawson, number 87, and the tackle by Mark Brown, the second-year man from Purdue, number 51. Dawson, number 8 pick back in '81, had a knee injury last season. This telecast presented by authority of the National Football League, intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of the telecast without the express written consent of the Dolphins and the NFL is prohibited. 3rd down and 10. Prevent defense for the Dolphins. And Grogan straight back. Throwing, and it is complete. Derek Ramsey has the first down up at the 35-yard line. A 15-yard pickup. Mike Kozlowski made the coverage. Let's go to New York, NFL 84.
All right, Jay, Steve Grogan off to a good start. The Cardinals have scored, set up by a nice punt return by Stump Mitchell. Roy Green on the receiving end of a Neil Lomax TD pass at 4 yards. Cardinals on top of Buffalo. They have new helmets. Doesn't seem to be helping. 10-0.
Well, the Cardinals lost that one-pointer last week when O'Donohue missed the extra point. That loss at Green Bay, they were very disappointed. They think they're going to be very improved out in the Mound City. First down for New England. Hawthorne goes in motion. Collins gets the call, and he's across the 35. Collins to the 37-yard line. Ernie Roan, number 55, making the tackle. Roan, quite a find, a free agent. He was ill much of last year. You remember, had pneumonia, had some problems, but is in there playing today. Irving Fryer now in the lineup as Hawthorne comes out for New England. Collins, 31 yards on 6 carries. 2nd down and 8. 3:50 to play. No score here in the first quarter. Grogan, quick one up to the tight end Dawson again, and he is out to the 45-yard line. He's taken that quick 3-step setup back, Bob, and right now finding his tight end.
I think what he wants to do, Jay, is just control the ball, control it with his first down running, and throw the safe passes 5-10 yards down the field, and just keep Marino off the football field. New England wants to dominate. They want to run 20 more offensive plays than the Dolphins today. They think they'll win if they can do that.
Irving Fryer, the rookie, number 1 out of Nebraska, set at the top of the screen. Starring to the left. Collins with the call. And Collins getting out to the 49-yard line before Mark Brown banged into him. There's Brown, number 51. We mentioned he's out of Purdue, a number 9 pick, and done an excellent job. Collins, 147 yards and a touchdown here in October of '83. One of his best days. Detroit now leading Atlanta 10-0 in the first period as Murray kicked a 46-yard field goal. On 2nd and 8, Grogan again. This time swings it out to Collins. He's at the 50 and down to the 47-yard line. Collins rolling down that far sideline, run out by Mark Brown, number 51. Collins caught 2 passes for 24 yards last week and then rushed for 83. He's a very important man. There's Brown, limping just a little bit. Of course, the Dolphins are missing Dewey. They've had some problems and been a tough time for them. 3rd down, about 2. To throw again, coming downfield and over the head of Stephen Starring. Good coverage. Judson, number 49, did an excellent job.
Take a look out here. Here are the 2 men involved. Judson is this man right here. He just tries to run a streak down the sideline. Judson is right with him. Grogan has to overthrow it. Here we go. Judson, one of the top defensive back on the Dolphins last year, has good coverage. Grogan threw it the only place he could, Jay, and it was high and outside. Either his receiver was going to catch it or was going to go incomplete.
Prestridge to do the punting on 4th down and 2. Mark Clayton in the middle. And again, he goes to the far sideline, but it is taken at the 5-yard line. Clayton gets it up across the 10 and is out of bounds near the 13-yard line. 2:07 left to play in the first period. New England and Miami, no score. After a 42-yard punt, Miami will take over for the 2nd time on offense. There's Don Shula, 54-year-old native of Painesville, Ohio. You see the 20 there on the back of the helmet. Well, that is in memory, of course, of a very fine football player.
David Overstreet passed away in an accident just before training camp.
Marino's going long, got a man downfield, and it was Mark Clayton who was a step or 2 in front of Ronnie Lippett, but they couldn't connect.
Clayton, a wide receiver on the right side. Marino is going to be throwing it high and long. You know, Lippett is playing Clayton man-to-man all the way. The ball is just overthrown, but he's got to cover the 2nd-best receiver. The Patriots assigned Raymond Claiborne to cover the number 1 receiver, and that is Mark Duper. But Lippett's got no easy day covering Clayton. Clayton can really pick him up and put him down.
Nat Moore, number 89, is in the lineup. Franklin and Bennett, along with Clayton, and banging it up the middle. Across the 25 goes Andre Franklin. Franklin hit by Rick Sanford, the free safety, number 25. Franklin booming it up the middle.
First down, Miami.
Take a look right here. Woody Bennett comes back in motion. He'll come right in here and double team over the nose on the nose tackle. Marino turns and hands the ball. The play will go right up here. Let's take a look at it. We said the offensive and defensive lines would play a big part. There you see the double team, a big hole. Jay, you could have ran through that one.
I think so. 1st and 10. Out at the 27-yard line. Jensen in there going in motion, and they give it up the middle again to Andre Franklin. He's hit by Steve Nelson, number 57, after getting a couple. The Detroit and Atlanta game with 5:08 left to play in the first quarter. Detroit leading it 10-0. And Minnesota is out on top of Philadelphia. Jan Stenerud still kicking well, a 38-yard field goal. No score here in the Orange Bowl with Bob Greasy. This is Jay Randolph. 2nd down and 8 at the 27. Handoff going to Tony Nathan, former Alabama star, getting out to the 32, where Don Blackman, number 55, made the tackle.
3rd down and 4.
There is number 56, Andre Tippett. 2.5 sacks last week. He played his collegiate ball for Hayden Fry out at Iowa.
Put him down on 3rd down sometime. Use him as a defensive end. Probably their best pass rusher. He's down right now coming on the pass rush.
Marion 31, Dabrowski 47 in there for the Patriots. On 3rd and 4, they go to a prevent defense. Marino gets away on the run at the 30. 35, didn't get the first down. Came close, but it was Marion, number 31, who came up and closed on him. Also, Sims, number 77, helped to force him outside.
About 56, Andre Tippett, their best pass rusher, pushes the pressure on Marino. You know, Tippett is a 2nd-degree black belt. Now, you talk about an overkill for a linebacker. I'll tell you, the quarterbacks don't have any breaks. We'll be right back.
Reggie Roby, his 2nd punt of the afternoon, averaged 45.8 last week at Washington. His first punt, 46 yards. Irving Fryer set to receive the punt. Roby, the offseason, a disc jockey in a nightclub here in Miami. This is a beauty. Fryer at the 16, at the 20, at the 25, to the 26-yard line. Fryer on the return, hit by Robert Sowell, number 45. A 48-yard boot. Oh, up to now, neither team has been able to put any points on the board. We'll be back with more. Patriots operating from their own 25. Collins, 7 carries, 34 yards. Grogan, 4 out of 7, 35 yards. In motion, Hawthorne. Pitch back comes to Collins. And Collins gets near the 30-yard line. Glenn Blackwood, number 47, made a very fine play. Today's game is brought to you by Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? By Visa cards and traveler's checks, accepted around the corner, around the world. Visa. And by Wheaties. Big time crunch, big time treat. Wheaties, what the big boys eat. And the big boys are going at it here in the Orange Bowl this afternoon. Bob, nobody's put any points on the board yet, but certainly the Patriots are doing what they want to do. They're trying to control the football a little bit, and Collins again. Collins cracks near a first down at the 35. Glenn Blackwood, number 47, on the tackle. Let's go again to NFL 84.
All right, Jay, in the first quarter at Soldier Field, Jim McMahon drops back and launches a gorgeous pass in the direction of the speedster Willie Gault. He takes it in his stride, 61-yard touchdown. The Bears in the first quarter lead Denver 10-0. Back to my buddy Jay Randolph.
All right, thank you, Bob Costas, and best to you and the whole gang. Week number 2 of NFL action and NFL 84 keeping us right up to date. Dallas is behind early to the Giants, 7-0. Tampa Bay has a 7-0 lead over New Orleans. Thompson's pass to Adger Armstrong. And Minnesota and Philadelphia are now tied up at 3, as we're going to get a measurement here by Chuck Eberling. Going to place the ball in. They do that, Bob, when it's very close and they've already made the measurement along the sideline.
Jay, you made a statement about New England being happy where they are. I think you're very true, very right in what you're saying, because the Patriots want to control the football. They want to eat up the clock, and I think as far as the Dolphins are concerned, they really haven't gotten anything going, but they're not going to get anything cheap like they did against the Redskins. The Patriots play a very loose, containing type of defense, and they're not going to get any big bombs very cheaply today.
Collins and Tutupu in the backfield, double tight ends. Robinson is in there with Dawson. Robinson going in motion, and the handoff to Tutupu, and they were looking for him. Tutupu last week at Rich Stadium, Orchard Park, New York, was making that play, but the Dolphins were looking for the big Samoan that time, and Mark Brown led the way along with Don McNeil. There's McNeil coming off. He's coming back off the ruptured Achilles. Don Shula got to be pleased the way his defense handled that one.
You know, the Patriots like to run left behind Hanna and Brian Holloway, 2 Pro Bowlers from last year, and of course the Dolphins were ready for it, slanting in that direction, and the defensive backs coming up and finishing off on the tackle.
Back to receive, Mark Clayton. Prestridge, his 3rd punt of the afternoon coming up. 13-12 to go. First half, no score. Prestridge, a high hanger, taken at the 25. Clayton outside at the 30, the 40, the 50, cuts it back in all the way down to the 37-yard line. Penalty marker down, back downfield at the 47-yard line. Well, an exciting return. Ron McSwain, number 23, finally brought Clayton down. Penalty is going to go against Miami.
It's just one of the things that Clayton can do for the Dolphins. Big wide receiver, big play man, also returns punts, but this one's going to be brought back.
Unsportsmanlike conduct charge to Rodell Thomas, number 54 of the Dolphins. Weather's going off, and we'll get a report on him in just a moment. Back with more after this.
The NFL plays here, San Diego.
Dan Fouts leads Air Coryell as he charges into the Kingdome.
The NFL plays here, Seattle.
Chuck Knox will be waiting with his Cinderella Seahawks.
The Chargers battle Seattle. The NFL plays here.
My team plays here.
For information, 326-6.
The Dolphins start from their own 32-yard line with Bob Greasy, Jay Randolph. No score with 12:56 to play in the first half. Cephalo, 81, Johnson, 87, and Hardy, 84, all in there. Marino now on the run, throwing into the middle, and incomplete or complete. We're going to wait and see whether they call it a catch, as Hardy is continuing on down the field, and one of the officials is back downfield at the 20-yard line, and they're quickly out to attend to him. Apparently they allow the catch. Chuck Heberling, though, is more concerned with the official. Bob, I did not see whether he was hit or whether he went down or what the problem was, but they're going to bring a stretcher very quickly.
I don't know if he was hit or not, Jay. It's very hot and humid in the Orange Bowl, and he may have been overcome, but you know, he is so deep in the secondary. I don't think any of the secondary people were that deep.
Well, we'll try to get a report on exactly what happened in this situation. No score here in the Orange Bowl. Back in just a moment. Back in the Orange Bowl as the catch to Hardy was allowed, and the ball has been spotted at midfield. Now on this same play, we had one of the officials go down.
Jay, I'm not sure who it is.
I'm not either, and I don't want to say. It might be Al Jury.
I believe it was the field judge who was in the deep middle of the defensive secondary, and when Marino was scrambling around, The defensive backs of the Patriots were running backwards and forwards, and I think one of them ran over him.
Well, you can see that they have the paramedics out there attending to him at the moment. And with this pause in the play here, we're going to go back to New York, NFL 84.
All right, Jay Randolph, in St. Louis, Neil Lomax has ripped the Buffalo secondary so far today. Lomax to O.J. Anderson, 17-0 St. Louis. But remember, Buffalo fell behind 21-0 last week against the Patriots, but they came back to make it close.
An unusual moment here in the Orange Bowl as we have an official down. It is Charlie Musser. We know that it is the field judge, Charlie Musser. He is a veteran of NFL activity, and he has been placed on the stretcher, and we will try to get a report. He is conscious, as you can see, and we're happy about that.
Certainly are. It was, you see he's alert, and I think he just got run over, Charlie. It doesn't seem to be any knee injury or anything. I think he just got knocked out. It's very hot, and one of the safeties probably reversed field and came back and ran over him. He's going off. He'll be all right, but it certainly was good to see the quick action of the medical crew here in the Orange Bowl to get out and take care of him.
So we now have 6 officials on the field, and referee Chuck Heberling going over the entire situation. You see them, most of them. The field judge is kind of back there with the center fielders, isn't he?
He is the new one of the last few years. They added one official, and he stands deep in the middle of this defensive secondary and looks to the middle of the offense, to the tight end primarily. Before, they had a man on the deep outside of the secondary looking at the wide receivers, but the coaches complained that the tight end was getting held up by a lot of the linebackers and the strong safety. Nobody was looking at him. Then they added the field judge position, and his primary concern was to look at the tight end. Now those 2 deep officials, the side judge and the back judge, will have to help out covering that tight end.
We'll try to get a report on just exactly what happened to Charlie Musser. Also, we're trying to get a report on Robert Weathers, number 24, who was carried off for New England. Ron Meyer, all Big Ten academic team, the head coach at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, rebuilt the program at SMU, 3rd year handling the Patriots. Nathan and Bennett are in the backfield. In motion, Mark Clayton. And a double reverse, and there's a problem here. In trouble is Clayton, and down he goes back at the 40-yard line. Well, the Patriots read that very well indeed. A loss of 10 yards on the play. Toby Williams made the tackle, number 90. Let's go to New York.
All right, Jay, in the second quarter at Soldier Field, Gary Kubiak trying to rally the Broncos, throws long, intending for Steve Watson. It's tipped by Mike Richardson and intercepted by Leslie Frazier, the 4th-year man from Alcorn State, and so it remains 10-0 Bears. Jay?
All right, Bob Costas, and here we have a scoreless game. Bob, are you surprised nobody's put a point on the board yet? 11:40 to go.
A little bit surprised, Jay.
2nd down. 20. And not much there for Andra Franklin. This defensive unit of the Patriots playing an inspired football game here in the first half.
Last year, Jay, they were very tough as far as allowing opponents to score points on them. They would bend but not break.
A touchdown for Detroit. They lead at 17-0. And Kansas City now 14-0 over Cincinnati. Blackledge to Hancock, 46 yards. Todd Blackledge having a very good start for the Chiefs. 3rd down and 20. Marino operating out of the shotgun. Lots of time, throws up the middle. Great catch at the 38-yard line by Joe Rose, number 80. Rick Sanford on the tackle. 22 yards and a first down.
Joe Rose right here will come down, straight down, and get behind all these linebackers that you see right here. Marino drops back. Here we go. Let's take a look at it.
22 yards on the play.
Joe Rose coming straight down, runs a little square in. He comes down, breaks across the field. Marino has the ball in the air before he even breaks. The mark of a very experienced quarterback, only his second year.
Maybe we use the word great too often, Robert, but that was a great catch by Rose. I don't know how he was able to pick it off. Outside it goes to Johnson. And Johnson hit by Roland James, number 38, the strong safety. Very close to a first down.
Take a look at the offensive line blocking. Newman, 64, slides out. Blocks Tippett, 56, gets his hands down. Very important on a pass like that. Hit him low, try to get the hands down, gives the quarterback a clear lane to throw the football.
Johnson on the injured reserve in 82 had a lot of problems with shin splints. Second down and 1. Nat Moore is in the lineup now for the Miami Dolphins, and the handoff is going to Andre Franklin. Franklin has the first down as he bangs into the 25-yard line. Doug Rogers, number 65, playing at the end spot now, along with Lester Williams, number 72, the nose man, making the play. And Andre Franklin with a problem.
See if we can see where he gets injured. Good line blocking. Big hole for Andre Franklin.
Boy, he drove through there, didn't he?
Can't see where he seemed to have some kind of a leg or ankle problem.
Well, we've got a timeout with 9:48 left to play. Scoreless first half here in Miami. Back here in the Orange Bowl, Bob Greasy, Jay Randolph, the word on Charlie Musser, the field judge. He was banged in the Adam's apple by a player going by. Clotheslined, I guess. We didn't see it. All we saw when we looked was he was down. Going wide to the right. Nat Moore. Jim Jensen is in the lineup, number 11. First down. Marino using play action, throwing. Jensen over his head, incomplete. Jensen, the versatile performer from Boston University. Many of you saw him play in college, I'm sure. Had a great record at BU. He's 17-3-1 while he was playing there.
Last week, Jay, against the Redskins, he caught 5 passes, the first 5 he's ever caught in the National Football League game. He's obviously a quarterback. Caught 2 touchdowns, plays on special teams, plays at wide receiver, tight end. That time they were trying to get him deep, had him open, just overthrew him a little bit.
Second down and 10. Nathan to the 22-yard line. Don Blackman, number 55, the linebacker, coming in. Withers is questionable returning. Apparently the problem is a hamstring, and Ingram has a laceration over his left eye. We're told that he probably will get back in there.
There's Andre Franklin. He went out. We'll try and get an update on his injury as soon as we can, but they're falling like flies, as they say, Charlie. Jay, I mean, it's like the heat is taking its toll.
And it's very, very warm down there. Third down and 7. Marino from the shotgun. Lots of time down the middle. Batted away at the last second. Intended for Joe Rose. And Roland James, the strong safety, 38, made the play.
Excellent play by Roland James. Probably the most underrated strong safety in the National Football League. To the left of your screen, you'll see him coming in down to the end zone. There we see at the bottom, Rose is open. James closes to the inside and knocks it down. James was the second leading interceptor on the Patriots last year and the second leading tackler. So he not only plays the pass, but plays the run very well.
Von Schauman's first field goal attempt of the regular season, 5 for 5 in PATs last week. Don Strock will hold. The ball spotted at the 29. A 39-yard attempt by Uwe von Schauman. And no good. Wide to the left. So we're still tied up here. 8 minutes and 52 seconds remaining to be played. First half in the Orange Bowl. No score. Patriots set to operate first down from their own 22-yard line. Brogan at the controls, coming in motion Greg Hawthorne. Collins gets the call. Collins to the 25-yard line. Bob Baumhauer, the big nose man, number 73, making the stop. There's Stephen Starring out of McNeese State. He was a quarterback there, Bob, and of course he caught a big pass last Sunday at Rich Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, that 65-yarder that got them started. They went out to a 21-0 lead, did the New England Patriots. 17 catches and 83 for him. Quite a performer. Second down and about 7. Grogan with lots of time, and he was trying to bail out to Collins. That's the second time today that it has appeared that Grogan has had so much time he just couldn't make up his mind. Mark Brown tipped that ball. Here's Starring on the play.
Let's take a look at Starring. He was looking downfield for Starring. McNeil jams him legal within 5 yards of the line of scrimmage, and then Starring comes into another defensive backs area. Grogan was looking downfield, and that's why the hesitation, Jay. Came back off and tried to dump it, but the pass was deflected.
Starring now to the far side of the field. Siegel Jones set in the slot. Third down and 6. And a problem, and down goes Grogan as Kim Bocamper came across number 58 with help from Bob Baumhauer, number 73. Problem there on the snap, it appeared.
Take a look at Starring trying to get off the line of scrimmage. The Dolphins are trying to jam him. Good coverage by Judson. Ron Marr said before the game, the thing we want to do is stay out of the nickel situation. The situation where the Dolphins bring in their 5th and 6th defensive backs, and they've got good coverage in the secondary and a good rush on the quarterback. He doesn't want to play against that setup.
Punting time for the Patriots and Luke Prestridge. 39-yard average. Mark Clayton back to receive the kick. A high hanger. Clayton's going to let it go, and it goes out of bounds, and Miami will have it in a good spot. They'll operate from their own 39-yard line, 39-yard punt. Pennant races are heating up. NBC Sports has the baseball action. Here's a preview. Out-of-town scores, Walter Payton, 72-yard run, 17-0 Chicago in that one. And the Giants, oh boy, 21-0. Detroit leading Atlanta 17-7 in the second quarter. St. Louis 17-0 over Buffalo in the second quarter. Miami with excellent field position, and the handoff goes to Tony Nathan. He's across the 41-yard line. Rodgers made the tackle. Kansas City has the lead over Cincinnati in the second quarter. Tampa Bay and New Orleans now are knotted up at 7-7, second quarter of play. Minnesota and Philadelphia tied at 3 in the second quarter. Here in the Orange Bowl, no score. We get word that Andre Franklin has a problem with his left knee and left ankle. They've taken him to the locker room here for precautionary x-rays. Double tight end alignment. Johnson 87 and Hardy 84 in there. And that is Nathan. Nathan wrapped up after he got about a yard, and doing the job is Larry McGrew, number 50, with help from Andre Tippett, 56. Again, we'll remind you, McGrew, number 50, is playing inside today for the injured Clayton Wysoon. Clayton underwent surgery this past week.
Jay, let's take a look right here. Dwight Stevenson, the all-pro center, blocking on Owens, number 98, the nose tackle. Let's take a look and see what's going on in the middle of that line. Stevenson firing out, gets a little help from Newman. Good block on the nose tackle, but the rest of the Patriots come and make the tackle.
Third down and 3. Marino throwing and intercepted at the 45-yard line by Don Blackman. Blackman, who has fine ability, his 4th career interception. The big guy from Tulsa picked it off, and an errant throw by Marino.
Don Blackman, one of the big play linebackers for the Patriots. Good coverage on the tight end, cuts in front of Rose. Marino not throwing the ball far enough to the sideline. Rose comes up and makes a tackle. We'll be right back. It's a tie ball game.
just a moment ago. The Dolphins set up with the best field position they've had all day. Now it's the Patriots. They're at midfield. 6 minutes to play in the first half. No score. Grogan over the middle, and it's intercepted. And coming back with it is Glenn Blackwood. Blackwood at the 35, out to the 40, out to the 45-yard line. Blackwood, his 14th career interception, his second interception of the young season.
That was a very poor throw by Steve Grogan. Play action. He turns and doesn't get to see the take a look right here. Here is Blackwood. He's just going to go back. Grogan is going to fake the fake the running play and throw it right down here in the interception. He really doesn't get a lot on the football. Let's take a look. Man goes in motion. Blackwood will just fade back into the area. Grogan never sees the defensive back and throws it right to him. It's a big play for the Dolphins.
From the 45-yard line, the Dolphins have it right back. These two clubs jockeying for position here. Marino throws outside. Duper run out of bounds. And a penalty marker goes down at midfield. A little extracurricular activity. Referee Chuck Heberling coming in, talking there with the side judge. Only 6 officials on the field. Charlie Musser injured earlier.
Unnecessary roughness, number 25. On the defense, first down.
Call against Rick Sanford.
Well, you see the end of the play. Sanford coming in at the very end. Ball carrier was out of bounds. That's what they call for Sanford. Hitting him when he was out of bounds. The play was over with.
Sanford in his 6th season out of South Carolina. First down at the 35-yard line. No score. That's Jensen going in motion. The pass out to him. And a flea flicker coming up. Long one downfield, and it is no catch, I believe. The official on the back line, they're having a discussion. Is it a touchdown or not? It is a touchdown for Miami. Mark Duper. Jensen threw it. Duper caught it. And they finally ruled touchdown.
I don't know what the doubt was, but it was back there. They had looks like a play. You'll take another look. This is a quick screen. I don't think the Patriots realized Jensen is out there, but he had 2 people open, and he threw it to the one that was a little bit covered. The other player was wide open. I don't see any question about that one. There's a flag on the play. I guess it was
I think the one official was trying to decide whether he had possession before he hit that white line. They ruled the touchdown, and 5:37 left in this first half. Well, apparently the flag was for a penalty. Pass interference.
Pass interference, and it was declined. And just another way that Jim Jensen can hurt you. Scored 2 touchdowns last week and throws 1 this week.
Looks like a ticker tape parade out there. Von Schamann, the extra point. It is up, and it's good. So the tie has been broken with 5:37 remaining to be played in the first half. It was Marino going out to Jim Jensen, and the touchdown throw to Duper. 7-0, Miami Dolphins. More in a moment. Uwe von Schamann to kick off. Miami gets on the board. They lead it 7-0. John Williams back and coming out with it at the 10 and ridden down along the 10-yard line. Leading the way, Robert Sowell, number 45 on the specialty unit. Oh, we'll look again at this touchdown play. They called pass interference, so I guess it's academic, but it looked for a moment like there might have been a problem with possession by Duper.
I think he's got it, Jay. got it before he goes out. But Jensen, what an exciting week he's had. Like I said, he caught 2 touchdowns last week in Washington. This week, he's thrown one already. He said he had an exciting week. He didn't sleep a whole lot. A lot of the national publications and media were down here doing interviews. He's got more publicity than you have in your entire life.
That's easy. That's easy. Hand off to Collins. Collins bangs his way out to the 18-yard line. Mark Brown, the right inside linebacker, number 51, making the tackle. Collins, from a family of 16, played in the Pro Bowl, had over 1,000 yards last year.
Did you say a family of 16?
That's right, 16.
They said he put on about 12 pounds this offseason. Evidently, he wasn't at home because
Must not have been
I
at
don't
home.
think he's going to.
Or they sure do cook up a mess of good stuff there anyway. Second down and 2. Irving Fryer going in motion. The handoff to Collins. He's got the first down. Mark Brown, number 51, again on the tackle. It is a first down for the Patriots. Well, we've had a most interesting first half here. 4:25 to play. Injury to Charlie Musser, the field judge, who was hit in the Adam's apple by a player going downfield. He's had to leave the game. Number of players banged up. Irving Fryer, number 1 overall in the '84 draft. Patriots operating from their own 22-yard line. Fryer in motion. Collins to the outside. Out to the 25. And again, it's Brown. Brown and Collins are doing some headbanging out there. Also coming up on the play, William Judson, number 49, for the Dolphins.
Second and 7.
Patriots are trying to run to their left behind Holloway and Hanna, trying to run at the Dolphins' right side. In the past, Kim Bocamper has gotten the reputation of not being strong against the run. He's doing very well today, and that's where they're trying to do a lot of their business.
60 yards for Collins on 13 carries here in the first half. Second down and 7. Grogan using play action. On the run now. Grogan coming to the sideline, got a block and has the first down. He had to sacrifice himself a little bit. Lynn Dawson did a good job of setting up a block for him. Mark Brown again on the tackle. He's having a fine first half on defense.
Steve says he doesn't like the run as much as he used to. He's had a few knee problems over the years, some injuries. He just as soon throw the ball away. There was good coverage in the secondary, no place to go with the ball, so he took off and ran with it.
You can relate to that. Collins comes out of the game now, and Craig James is in. James from SMU, the free agent. He's been held out, of course, has been bothered by a knee injury, but he's number 32, and he's in there now. 88, Ramsey going in motion, and that is Craig James. And he got about a yard, just shy of the 40. Mark Brown again on the tackle. Rudzinski, 59, helping out. 2 minutes and 15 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. They're giving Brown a big hand, and he's coming out now. Brown's made about 5 straight tackles, Robert.
He's an excellent player. He needs to get in there and get a little bit playing time. He got a lot in the preseason because of the injury to A.J. Dewey. He was a leading tackler in the preseason. He's a fine football player.
2-minute warning given to both benches here. Miami has the lead over New England, 7-0.
7, New Orleans 7. Second quarter.
Don Shula. He's got a new gentleman on his staff, Chuck Studley. His new defensive coordinator is Bill Arnsberger, has moved on to LSU, got himself a tie yesterday. Ron Meyer in his 3rd year with the Patriots. We received word that field judge Charlie Musser was hit in the throat. His blood circulation was stopped momentarily, causing him to pass out. He's okay, but he will not return. Grogan on the run again. And throwing. And and he couldn't get it to Lynn Dawson. They were doing a little extra play calling themselves, between themselves, Bob, trying to get something going. Charles Bowser, the linebacker, 56, kind of messed it up.
What he was trying to do, Jay, is trying to get Dawson to go down the field. When he was scrambling towards him, he was covered, wanted him to go down the field so he could loop it to him. Dawson didn't get the word fast enough, and it fell incomplete.
Derek Ramsey out of the game now for the Patriots. Hawthorne comes back in. He's coming to the near sideline. Steve Grogan, number 5 draft choice back in '75. The Dolphins in a prevent defense, 3rd down and 7.
They're up there faking blitz. They drop out of it.
And the throw is complete. A fine catch at the 40-yard line by Irving Fryer. Well, there you saw the wonderful athletic ability of Fryer as he just threw himself into the air to make that catch.
An outstanding catch by Fryer as we see the hurry-up offense. Ronnie Meyer says he's something special.
23-yard pickup and a 1st down at the 38-yard line. Patriots down 7-0, trying to get on the board before the half. Grogan to the far side, complete and out of bounds, stopping the clock goes Stephen Starring. Starring out of bounds at the 31-yard line. A minute 19 remaining as the 2-minute drill is into effect for these Patriots.
Gain of 7 yards, 2nd and 3.
2nd down at about 3. Miami leading 7-0. Coming up at halftime, of course, we'll update you on all of the action in the National Football League, NFL 84. Bob Costas and the crew, again, doing such a splendid job. Lon Myers, club down 7-0, trying to get back in it here. Grogan going for Starring, and he was out of bounds. Pass intended for Starring. Don McNeil, number 28, had the coverage and did a good job. There's McNeil.
Here's a good look at a man-to-man matchup. Starring releases outside. The throw is a difficult throw. Anytime you're trying to hit this play that far downfield, McNeil does a great job of coverage. Don Shula feels as though with McNeil and Judson on the other side, he has a set of cornerbacks that are unequal to any in the National Football League. Maybe Mike Haynes and Hayes out at the Raiders are comparable, but he's very happy with his 2 defensive corners.
3rd down, 3. A minute and 12 to go. Each team has 3 timeouts remaining. Grogan, and a wonderful catch at the 10-yard line by Stephen Starring. Starring right along the 10-yard line, hit by McNeil.
Down New England. Timeout, New England.
The Dolphins were in a blitz situation that time. These linebackers are blitzing, which pulls these safeties up into coverage. The man will come from this side and catch a little slant. Grogan steps back and fires it to him. Here we go. Let's take a look. Back to pass. The back's out of the backfield. Grogan reads it. Good protection. A little slant by Starring inside of McNeil. Good execution.
We've got an isolated view, Bob. He did an excellent job. Good hands here.
Down and to the inside. Sets him up to the outside. Good move. Comes back to the inside. Not bad for an ex-quarterback. What do you think?
That ball was almost through his hands, and he held on. Starring, very impressive. He has been the 2nd-year man, as you mentioned, a former quarterback from McNeese State. 35-yard average on 3 catches last Sunday. Well, stay with us for the second half of our NBC doubleheader this afternoon. National Football League action. Some of you see Air Coryell. Dan Fouts back at the controls. San Diego taking on the Seahawks. Franco Harris is there. Others to see the Browns playing the Rams or the Indianapolis Colts battling Earl Campbell and the Houston Oilers. So join us later this afternoon for more action on this doubleheader day here on NBC Sports. There's Don Shula, a defensive back with the Browns after playing at John Carroll in Cleveland, Ohio as an offensive back. Part owner and vice president now of the Miami Dolphins. Ball is just inside the 10-yard line. A minute and 4 seconds left to go in the first half. Dolphins leading 7-0. 2 timeouts left for the Patriots. Collins is back in. Ramsey is back in. He's on the wing right. And Grogan to throw. Grogan throwing and completing and driving down. Dawson. Dawson with the touchdown. The tight end. Collins and Dawson with the celebration, and the Patriots have come back.
It's a good throw by Steve Grogan, Jay. Big play for him. The 2-minute drill works. Here we'll see. Here's one wide receiver. He'll clear it out. Dawson comes from this side and is coming across the field. Will catch the ball over here as this receiver takes his man out of the play. Here it is.
You're having a
man-to-man coverage. Good read. Good running at the end of the play.
You're very informative with that little play thing you're working with today. Having a lot of fun with it. The point after by Tony Franklin is up and good. Well, we'll take another angle for you on that touchdown. A 90-yard drive by the Patriots. Nice way to come back and bounce back in the final minute here.
Here we'll see Starring taking his man out of the way. Now he sees the ball caught. He's going to come back and try and get a block. Gets a piece of Ernie Roan, I believe it is, number 55. Dawson getting in for the touchdown.
9-yard touchdown. And the score tied 7-7 with 56 seconds remaining to be played in the first half. Tony Franklin will put it in play. Grogan now has thrown 12 touchdown passes and 16 interceptions in this, the 16th game of his career against Miami.
Dr. Blankstein, call your service, please. Paging Dr. Blankstein.
Steve has done a lot better this year, I'm told, by the Patriot PR people, Jay, because he understands the system a little bit better. He had a little input in the offseason as we look at the scoring drive. He worked in the offseason with Lou Erber, the offensive coordinator. Ron Meyer understands what Steve Grogan wants to do and likes to do, and I think they had a better meeting of the minds as far as what they want to do with their offense.
Tony Franklin in his 6th season. They're very happy to have him on board with the Patriots. Vince Heflin, a free agent, number 88, is back to receive the short high kick. Comes across the 15, 20, and a penalty marker goes down at the 18 as Heflin got to the 25-yard line. The stop was made by Ed Reynolds, number 95. And as we mentioned, a penalty marker down. You know, summer is slowly slipping away. The boys of summer still have some unfinished business, of course.
Number 52. Turn.
The call going against number 52 of the Miami Dolphins, Sanders Shiver. It'll put the ball back at the 10-yard line. Don't miss the absolute best of baseball, of course, the '84 World Series. The championship of baseball begins October 9th. Nobody does it better than NBC. Harry Coyle, our director today, the world's greatest baseball director. Not bad at football either. Our producer today, Ralph Abraham. Our entire crew bringing you the sights and sounds of this second Sunday's action from the Orange Bowl. Tony Nathan brings it out over the 15-yard line to the 16. Number 77 or number 85, Julius Adams, now is out there. Adams, who didn't get the start today as they moved Sims over there to start. 31 seconds, 30 seconds left now in this first half.
I think the Dolphins at this point, Jay, are just happy to run out the clock, go in at a 7-7, and come back out for the second half.
And some of the fans would like to see them try to get some more points on the board, but the Dolphins are satisfied to sit on it here, tied 7-7. That's the last play as Woody Bennett carried it up just over the 20-yard line. Blackman made the tackle. So it's the Dolphins and the Patriots all tied up here at the end of the first half. NFL 84 coming up. Back with that and more in just a moment.
Welcome back to NFL 84, and we say hello to those of you who have been watching the Buffalo-St. Louis and the New England-Miami games. Let's check the scoreboard. First of all, in that Patriot-Dolphin encounter, Ron Meyer takes the Pats into the Orange Bowl, where they haven't won since they were known as the Boston Patriots way back in 1966. Miami has beaten New England 16 consecutive times on this field. Now, after a scoreless first quarter, Steve Grogan drops back to throw for New England. It's intercepted by Glenn Blackwood. He'll dance around a bit, turn it into a good return, back to about the Miami 45-yard line. And then at that point, Miami embarks on the game's first scoring drive, and here is how it ends. From the 35-yard line, the flea flicker to Jim Jensen, the third-string quarterback, into the end zone. Beautifully thrown ball and a leaping catch by Mark Duper. There was some question as to whether or not he had stayed in after juggling it, but the catch was good. New England immediately strikes back. 90-yard drive culminated by this 9-yard flip to tight end Lynn Dawson. Ties the game up at 7-7. During that drive, Irving Fryer, the #1 draft choice for the Patriots, caught his first NFL pass. They are late in the first half at Soldier Field in Chicago, and the Bears are on their way to going 2-0. They lead Denver by a score of 27-0. There's John Elway, #7, sidelined by a sore shoulder and standing next to Coach Dan Reeves. He watches in the first quarter as the Bears, already leading 3-0, make it 10-0 on this beauty. A 61-yarder from Jim McMahon to the speedster Willie Gauld. And then Walter Payton goes to work. In the second quarter, a 72-yard scamper. Sweetness is already over 100 yards for the afternoon in the first half alone. That made it 17-0. Moments ago, Matsui scored to make it 27-0. And look what happened earlier in the first half. Kubiak is belted by Tyrone Keys. He had to be taken out on a stretcher, and that meant that Elway, despite the fact that he is ailing, had to come back into the game to quarterback the Broncos, who trail it 27-0. They are at halftime at the Meadowlands, and Phil Simms is on fire. 2 more touchdown passes. Yes, that's right. The Giants lead the Cowboys 21-0 at halftime. Also at halftime in Atlanta, Detroit is in front of the Falcons. The score there, 17-10. Bill McAtee, what's going on?
Bob, well, the Cardinals have reached agreement with their #1 draft choice, Clyde Duncan, the fine wide receiver out of the University of Tennessee, who played behind Willie Gauld, but it doesn't look like Neil Lomax needs him. He has had an excellent first half. Kay Stevenson has been frustrated in the first half. Cardinals took a 3-0 lead on a Neil O'Donoghue field goal, and then this punt return by Stump Mitchell of 38 yards brought the ball down to the 20-yard line of the Bills, and that set the stage for Mr. Lomax to go to work. 2 plays later in the first quarter, Neil Lomax, a 4-yard touchdown pass to #81, Roy Green. And then later in the first quarter, Lomax again, another 4-yarder to #32, Otis Anderson. The extra point was good. It was 17-0 Cardinals. Anderson scored on a 2-yard run a bit later, 24-0 Cardinals. And you have to like the job that Todd Blackledge did in his first pro start last week against the Steelers. He is building on that again today. Sam White still looking for his first win as a head coach for the Bengals, and Blackledge hit this 46-yard TD pass to Anthony Hancock, who makes a great catch. Watch this catch in traffic, the third-year man out of the University of Tennessee. But the Bengals caught a break, and you got to figure that Carlos Carson would like a chance to catch this ball back again. He misses it, tipped into the hands of Ray Horton, who replaced Ken Riley. He goes all the way. It was 14-7 Kansas City. The Bengals tied it up a bit later on a 2-yard run by Charles Alexander. It's 14-14. Halftime down Louisiana Superdome, 10-7. The Buccaneers lead this ball game. Minnesota and Philadelphia, it has been a defensive struggle. It is 6-3. Paul McFadden has hit 2 field goals for the Eagles, one of 37 yards, and Bob, one of 27 yards.
Bill, you mentioned St. Louis having their own way with Buffalo. There are those who think the Cardinals will be the dark horse team in the NFL this year. Team to watch.
Yes, sir.
All right, stay with us now as NFL 84 halftime activities continue. We're coming back following these messages and a word from your local stations.